What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video, and this is going to be the beginning of a series titled SQL Made Simple. In this series, I'll be breaking down SQL concepts into bite-sized and easy to understand lessons or videos. My name is Kola Ademola, and today we are starting with the very foundation of every SQL query, the select and the from clause. So we'll be looking at what the select clause does, how the from clause works, and some practical examples to help us really understand what they do and how they work. Whether you're just starting your SQL journey or you're brushing up on your skills, this video is still for you. So by the end of this lesson, you'll be writing your very first SQL query like a pro. Without wasting so much time, let's get straight to the video. We'll be starting with the select clause. The select clause in SQL is used to tell the database what columns you're interested in. Imagine you have a customer table that has information on the customer's name, their location, their age, their email address, and you want to see all the columns in this table. You use the select clause to tell the database that, hey, give me or show me all the columns in this table. You are also able to select individual columns or multiple columns. So basically, the idea behind the select clause is to help you select any columns or pick any columns you want to see from a table. And then next up, we'll also look at the from clause. So the from clause helps you pick a particular table from your database. Just like I said earlier, the select clause helps you pick columns. So these columns you're picking, where do you want to pick them from? That is what the from clause does for you. The from clause helps you tell the database the table you want to pick or get data from. So with the from clause, you're able to specify the table you want. So let's put all these together. The select clause helps you identify the columns you want, and the from clause helps you identify the table you're interested in. So let's look at how all this work, and let's see how we can write our very first SQL query. Okay, I have my pgadmin up and running, and we'll be practicing our very first SQL query with the select and from clause. So in this case, we have 5 tables in our database. We have a credit cards table, we have a customers table, we have an orders table, we have a payments table, and we have a products table. A database is always made up of multiple tables, each table holding a specific kind of data, just like we have in this case. We have 5 different tables. Before you write any SQL query, the very first question you should ask yourself is, which table do I need to get this information or this data from? So we'll start with this very first practice question. We are trying to retrieve all customer data from the database. So we have a database that is made up of 5 tables. There's a credit card table, there's a customer table, there's an orders table, there's a payments table, and there's a products table. So looking at this question I have here, which of these tables is going to hold information about my customers? Definitely that is going to be the customers table. I already know that, okay, I'll be needing the customer table to answer this question. So next up, how do I write my query? So every SQL query starts with the select clause. After writing my select, remember we said the select clause is used to pick the columns you want to see from any table that you specify. In this case, we are expected to retrieve all the customer information. Basically, that means we want their name, their email address, their phone number, their location. We want every information about the customer. So that basically means I need all the columns. And how do I specify that I want all the columns? I can just list out these columns, but instead of doing that, the most efficient way is to use the asterisk. So if I say select star or asterisk, that basically means I'm telling the database that I want to pick all the columns. So select star basically means select all the columns. And then next up is the from clause. Remember, we also say the from clause is where you specify the table you want to get your data from. So we've already concluded that we are going to be working with the customer table. Definitely, these columns I want to select, I want it to come from the customers table. Select star from customers. This SQL statement or query basically means select all the columns from the customers table. I have my query, I just need to highlight and execute my query. And then boom, you can see we have the data that we need, and this is showing us all information on the customers. You can see we have their customer ID, their name, their email address, their phone number, their date of birth, their gender, their country, and their city. So that is how you write a very simple or basic SQL query. Also try another example. Looking at the second question, retrieve all the products information. Remember I said the very first thing you want to do when writing your SQL query is to ask yourself, what table is holding this information or this data I need? So we are trying to grab all the products information. Looking at our database, the table that has this kind of information is definitely going to be the products table. And for the fact that I want to get all the product information, that means I need all the columns. So what do? I say select star or asterisk. Remember, asterisk here represents every column. And what table are we trying to get this information from? We need it from the products table. So basically our second SQL query here, select star from the products table. That means select all the columns or show us all the columns from the products table. So once I execute my query, that should retrieve all the products information for us. And then you can see we have it down here, the product ID, the product's name, the description of the product, the category the product falls into, the price, and then lastly, the cost. We may not be interested in all the information in a table. There are some cases and scenarios whereby you'd be interested in just a few columns in a table. So for this example, we'll be looking at how you can retrieve information from just a single column or two or more columns from any table. So looking at our next example, we have retrieve all the customer name. What do I do first? I ask myself, where do I get this information from? Definitely, I'm going to have customer name information on the customers table. Let me also give you a cheat or a tip or a trick while trying to write your SQL query. You can always start by taking a look at what you have in any table. Now, I'm going to start by writing this query, select star from the customers table. Now, I know this does not satisfy our question, which says we should retrieve only the customer names, because I'm using select star, that is retrieving all information. Like I said, this is more or less like a trick or like a tip, because if I start by looking at all the columns or all the information on a table, I can see how each column is spelled. One thing you should understand that is SQL is very sensitive. If you misspell a column, you're definitely going to get an error, or your query will throw an error telling you that that column does not exist. So the reason why I'm doing this first is to quickly take a look at everything I have in that table, how the columns are spelled. So now I can see that where I have the customer name, this is how it is spelled, customer underscore name. That way I know how to spell the column I'm looking for, or I know the exact column I'm looking for. So I'm going to replace the asterisk with the particular column I want. So I just say select customer underscore name. And once I specify the column I want, I'm done with my query. I just have to execute that query. And then boom, we can see we have retrieved just the customer name. So this is how you retrieve just a single column from any table. All you need to do is on your select statement, you just specify the particular column you're interested in. Moving on, we'll look at another example. And this one says we should retrieve all customer names, their email, and their city. Remember my advice? Start by asking yourself, which table are you going to get this kind of information from? Looking at the kind of database we have, that is definitely the customers table. And then we'll be starting with our very own trick by doing select star from the customers table. Why are we doing this? We want to quickly take a look at the contents of the customers table. So now I see all the columns, I see all the information, I see all the data available in the customers table. And then I'm going to compare it with my question. We are asked to retrieve the names of the customers, their email address, and their city. So I can see we have customer name, we have email, and then we have city. So now I know exactly the columns I'm looking for, how they are spelled. Instead of saying select star, I'm going to replace that with the specific columns I'm interested in. So we'll start by selecting the customer name column. Now, when you need to select multiple columns, you have to separate each column with a comma. So customer name, comma, and then the next column I need is the email column, comma. I still have one more column I need, which is the city column. So I also specify that. Now, when I get to the last column I need, you don't need to add comma anymore. Because if I should add another comma here, the database is expecting me to specify another column. But the city column is the last column I need to select from this table. So once you get to the last column you need to select, you don't have to add another comma again. So looking at our query now, we are saying we want to select the customer name column, we want to select the email column and the city column, all from the customers table. So if we execute this query, let's see what we get. And then boom, we've been able to retrieve the customer name, their email address, and their city. So this is basically how you retrieve data from multiple columns in any table from your database. So you can see you're already writing your very first query like a pro. So we still have two more examples to try out. So the next one, we're expected to retrieve the product name and their prices. So what do we do first? We'll first of all ask ourselves, which table can we get this information from? So the table we can get this kind of information from is definitely the products table. So now we know the table we need. We'll start by taking a sneak peek into the content of that table. So we'll say select star from products. What does this do? This shows us the content of that particular table. So now we've seen everything in that table and we are interested in the product name and prices. Now, just to also emphasize on why this is important by quickly taking a look at the content of that table, if I should just go by this question, I might write my query like this. It says select product name, comma, and price. Now, if I should do this query will definitely throw an error. Why? Because there is no price column on this table. Instead, what we have is unit price. So just to demonstrate that, if I should execute this query, you see we have an error. Column price does not exist. So that is why it is advisable to start by taking a peek at your table to see how the table is structured, the columns you have, how they are spelled. So now that we understand that we don't have a price column, instead what we have is unit price. So unit underscore price. So remember, when selecting multiple columns, you always separate them using a comma. Unit price is the last column I need from this products table, so I don't have to add a comma after that. So once I'm done with my query, I terminate my query with a semicolon, highlight my code, execute. And then we've been able to retrieve the product name and the prices of the product. So the very last example we are going to look at today, by the time we are done with this, you would be good to write your very own SQL query like a pro without any stress and any confusions. So for this one, we are trying to retrieve the customer's bank details such as their card number, the bank name, and the card expiry date. So looking at this question, I asked myself, okay, which table can I get all this information from? I can already tell, looking at the kind of database we have, that I'm going to get this from the credit cards table. So I'd start by taking a peek at the credit card table, select star from credit cards. So once I write that and I execute that, now I can see the contents of my credit card table. So we are interested in their card number, the name of the bank they are using, and the card expiry date. So instead of saying select star, I'm going to specify the actual columns we need. So we need the card number, comma, still have another column. We need the bank name, comma, and lastly, we need the card expiry dates. So card expiry dates. So we've specified all the columns we need from this table. So we are going to highlight that code and then execute it. So once you execute that, that is going to help us retrieve the customer's card number, their bank names, and their card expiry dates. So this is just how you write your SQL query. Like I said, this is the very foundation of every SQL query. So with this query, you're able to go into your database and grab data from the database. Look at the content of each table, pick data from specific columns you want from a table. And there you have it. In this video, we've been able to cover the select and the from clause, the very foundation of every SQL query. Remember, select what you want to see and from where you want to get it. That's very simple, right? So you've been able to write your very first SQL query. That brings us to the end of this lesson. You've done a great job coming this far. So going forward, I'd share some exercises in the description of each video, including this video, and I'd like for you to try your hands on these questions. So do well to share your solutions or your code in the comment section, and then we can discuss it there, learn and grow together. Thank you. In the next video, we'll be exploring the where clause, which is used to filter data, and by the end of the video, you'll be able to filter data like a pro. So don't forget to subscribe and like, hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.